Hey guys, this is Tyler, and I'm here with a look at the Spellsword, a project from my industry portfolio module at Teesside University. As I'd like to become a technical designer, I decided to focus on creating a gameplay system, specifically a combat system, as I've always wanted to know how they worked. The concept of my prototype is a third-person sword and sorcery game with Witcher-style combat, following the adventures of two characters in the style of The Last of Us. The game focuses on the bond between a spell sword named Nine and a medium named Miko. Mediums are able to channel elemental spirits into spell swords, who can then use their power to cast spells. Nine's magic spells can be upgraded through the skill tree, but each time the skill is upgraded, Miko's life energy is drained. If drained completely throughout the game, she will die, leaving Nine alone for the rest of the game and unable to use magic. The narrative of the game follows them as they fend off a religious order bent on draining all mediums to death in order to feed on their power. The adventure has them attempt to take down the religious group's leader, known only as the Augur. Will Nine bring about the death of Miko by hungering for power, much like the Augur? Will he be too weak to take down the organization without her powers, leaving them on the run? Every choice the player makes will require a sacrifice. The main gameplay feature is the skill-based combat system. Both the protagonists and their adversaries use technical skills and magical skills to varying degrees of mastery, making every encounter unique. The combat system includes both unarmed and sword attacks, which will vary in damage if the player can successfully complete a combo. At the end of the player's combo, they will perform a move which may temporarily knock out an opponent. Unarmed combat is faster but does less damage, whereas the greatsword does more damage but takes more time to complete the attack. The player can also complete counterattacks if they time the counter button correctly. Counterattacks will also temporarily knock out enemies. Furthermore, the player can make use of elemental magic attacks which may freeze a target in place, slowly burn them, or force push them in the opposite direction. These attacks come in a variety of types, including short-range spray cells, long-range projectiles, and in the future they will also encompass area of effect spells, trap spells, ward spells, and even temporary sword enchantment spells. There's also a variety of enemy types who are either sword wielders, brawlers, or giants. Sword wielders utilise their swords and sometimes magic, as do giants, but giants are much larger with more hit points. Brawlers are able to use unarmed attacks and move slightly faster, and they can also sometimes cast magic. The unique selling point of the game is the way in which the morality system and the combat system are directly intertwined, the player's gameplay actions leading directly into branching narrative pathways. I did a lot of research into emotional intelligence in games, taking a lot of inspiration from the extreme law versus chaos moral choices in the Shin Megami Tensei series, even deriving the theme of sacrifice from games like Mass Effect. The target audience for the game is fans of the fantasy genre at ages between 19 to 60, which are usually male, but the compelling narrative, like in The Last of Us, alongside the gameplay, opens up the game to wide success amongst other demographics. The age rating for the game would be PEGI 16 for the depiction of fantasy violence. I really enjoyed working on this module because it gave me the chance to explore my technical design skills and try something I've never really tried before. So I hoped that you enjoyed a quick glimpse into the world of the Spellsword, and I hope to see you again soon in one of my other projects.